Hello, my name's Krista Danaluz Vieira, and last week I was talking a little bit about how when we're stuck, one of the things that we need to do is make a decision and decide that we're actually going to get unstuck. And it's kind of interesting because a lot of times we look and say, well, yeah, obviously I need to make some decisions. I need to start moving myself forward. I have to be willing to say, yes, I'm going to actually make some changes in order to get unstuck. But I want to invite in here the thought of a little sneaky guy that gets in the way. And when this thing gets in the way, it starts to erode our resolve to make that decision and to stick with that decision. And this guy's name is procrastination, and you've probably heard of him. So procrastination is the opposite of inspired action. I just really want you to land that inside. Procrastination is the opposite of inspired action. When we are procrastinating, this impacts every area of our life. And it keeps us from taking the actions that we know that we want to take, that we know we need to take if we want to move things like our vision forward, if we have dreams that we want to see fulfilled, if there are things that we want to do that are really important to us, we have to be willing to take action. But procrastination will come in so many different ways, telling us that it's not the right time. It'll lead us down a rabbit hole so that we're death scrolling over here on our phones, not taking the actions that we need to be taking. So I just want to give you a moment to consider this, because you probably have noticed maybe in some instances where procrastination tends to crop up in your life. And I just want to invite you, and if you're coming into these little chit chats that we're having with a notebook or a pen and paper, I highly encourage you to pull it out and take a moment and write down these questions. How is procrastination impacting your free time? How is it impacting your time? How is it impacting the ability that you have to get work done within a certain amount of time? Or do you end up working longer hours because some of that time you're spending procrastinating on taking actions that you would love to take? How is it impacting your time with your family? How is it impacting your time with your friends? How is it impacting how you feel about what you got done in that time or your level of productivity? How is it impacting the things that you want to move forward in your life, in maybe in your business, maybe in your personal life? But think about being at work for a minute. Maybe you have a project that you really need to get done, and you know that you need to take a few actions in order to move it to the next level. But for some reason, you're procrastinating, right? You're not taking those actions. You're wasting your time doing other things when you know that just a little flip of your attention would take you over here. So where is this procrastination coming from? So is it from fear of success? Is it that you're not actually wanting to take the action because you're afraid of what will happen? Is it because you're afraid of the growth that might come along with the action that you're going to take? What is it that is causing you to procrastinate? Sometimes we feel like we don't have enough information, right? We're over analyzing, right? We're sitting there, we're thinking about every situation, we're trying to think of all the possible outcomes, and we're not taking the action because we can't see into the future. We don't know what is out there. We don't know. It's uncertain. And so we're procrastinating on taking action because we don't want to make a mistake or we don't know what's going to happen, right? Look inside yourself for a moment and just ask yourself, why am I procrastinating? What is the number one reason? Maybe just pick something that you're currently procrastinating on. What's the number one reason that I'm not taking action that I know I should be taking or that I really want to be taking? The important action that would move my vision forward. What's the number one reason, right? So when you start to ask yourself these questions, you start to uncover what is underneath the patterns that play out inside, right? The pattern of procrastination, it's there for a reason. There's something it's trying to do. There's some reason it exists, but it doesn't have to be there. And if we want to see our vision go forward, if we want to see certain things manifest in our life, if we want to create a life that we love, we want to create our reality, we want to make this the most beautiful moment, the most wonderful life that we have, then we have to be willing to take inspired action. Last week, I was talking about how if you go ahead and you actually, identify, that you're stuck in some way in your life. And then you recognize that you have a willingness to take, to move this forward. You have a willingness to become unstuck, because some of us don't. And you decide that you are actually going to get unstuck. You decide that, yeah, you're all in. You're really going to shift. You're really going to make some changes. Then the thing that will come up next will be procrastination, where it's like, yeah, I'm going to do it. And then a day goes by, right? I'm going to do it tomorrow. And then another day goes by. Do you see the pattern that's going to play out here? Have you been subject to this pattern at some point in your lives? I know I sure have, right? So what we need to do is start to recognize when procrastination shows up, and it might show up as practicality, right? It might show up just being like, yeah, I can't do it now. And here's why. And it's got a whole list of reasons why it can't happen. And the reality is that that it's very practical. It may sound very good. It's a really good reason, but it's not the reason that you're not taking action. The reason that you're not taking action is because the pattern inside is to stay where it's comfortable, right? The pattern inside is to stay where you are, even though you do want to change, even though you really want to shift. That pattern is a well-worn road in your mind. So if you want to actually see certain things change, when procrastination and practicality show up to keep you from actually acting on the decision that you've made to move your life forward, that is an invitation to you. It's an invitation to you to start taking inspired action, to lay a plan for yourself, write down the action steps that you're going to take that are going to move your life forward, and then go and do it. And you will see your life change. You will start to see yourself not wasting time over procrastinating, not doing things that aren't supportive and helpful for your vision. You're going to see yourself start to change how you're spending your time. You're going to say, it used to take me 2 hours to do this thing, but you know what? I've stopped procrastinating and now it takes me 30 minutes. You're going to find time, create time. And it's always been there. It has always been there. It's yours. You can have it right now. So I hope that you found this helpful. Move yourself out of procrastination, move over into taking inspired action, and you will see the needle move in your life in so many positive and different ways. My name's Krista Daniluz Vera. I hope you found this useful. Feel free to subscribe below, leave any comments. I'd love to get in touch with you, and make sure that you have a beautiful day. Take care.